Oh, and we are 5 seconds live. Sorry, I was gonna cancel today's show, but I could not let you guys down, man. That shit sucks. I should not be like that. It's just that I am a huge procrastinator, and I wasn't entirely prepared for today's show because I enjoyed my weekend a little bit too much. I literally just posted on our Facebook page that I was canceling. Then my wife texted me like, "Yo, where the f you at? We got people waiting for you guys." So, with that said, welcome to That's So Controversial. I'm your man Rick, joined with my good friend today, Mike G. What's going on, Mike?
What's going on?
All right, and yeah, man. Today is episode 50, but I'm not going to celebrate it like it's episode 50. We're gonna do that tomorrow with the Amazon gift card giveaway, man. So be here tomorrow for that show for sure, man. Today, I guess we're just gonna wing it a little bit because I have been procrastinating like crazy, man. We're supposed to have topics ready to go and discussion questions ready, but that's on me, man. I've been slipping. I enjoyed this weekend a little bit too much, but I will make it up to you guys, man. So what's going on, Mike? How was your weekend?
My weekend is all right, man. Just recovering from work.
Recovering. You work too much?
Yeah, work too damn much.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
already
man. I've been distracted with this whole stock market situation, man. Losing money, losing fistfuls of cash on this thing, man. Trying to make a quick buck following these trends on Reddit, and I missed the buck, bro. I missed the buck.
they won't let you, man. They won't let
Yeah, what's going on? King Giz Malik Show, Tracy, Mommy Flow, motivation and consistency. Thank you guys for showing up. You guys always rock. I am here for you guys, man, because I was gonna cancel, but damn it, my wife hit me up and she said, "Yo, let's go, man. Let's go."
you know what time it is.
Yeah, so we here for you guys, man. So originally we were going to talk about a controversial topic, but like I said, I don't want to go in half-assed anymore on these big topics. I don't know if you still want to talk about it, Mike, or just wing it and
Let's do it.
let's do it. All right. So today, I guess we want to talk a little bit about how the show is going to start after the intro. With that said, the daily chat starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the main event.
Yeah, King Giz Malik has a valid point. When you're talking about sex and stuff like that, you can't cancel that, man. So today we're going to be talking about the effects of porn on relationships and other aspects of our lives. Like when I also want to talk about how how children are exposed to it early because of their access to the internet. So I think it could be a very interesting conversation. So with that said, Mike, what's going on, man?
And not my kids. They're not exposed to anything because they don't have a TV in their room.
But they have laptops and access to the internet, man.
Not even the laptops are regulated by the school. So,
Oh, that's dope.
So if you try to go on a naughty website, you ain't getting.
But that's not usually how it happens, though. It's not like they're looking for it. It's usually some type of advertisement, some kind of clickbait, some kind of stupid. Like when you download these game, yeah, exactly. So I mean, from one of the articles I read, it's like the average kid gets exposed to it via the internet by 11 years old. So
yeah, even when you watch Disney movies.
Oh yeah, apparently, right? They have a lot of that innuendo stuff in there. So that's interesting. That's something I definitely want to talk about later on.
That's why I love Disney so much.
I bet you do. Thanks, man. All right, so let's talk about the relationship aspect of how. Is there another word for porn? I don't know why I don't. There's some words I don't like. Huh?
Smut.
Smut. What is that? I don't even sure what that word is.
Etiquette version of the word porn.
I don't know. Well, anyway, so do you think that it can affect the relationship in a positive or a negative way? You think there's some way that it affects the relationship?
I think it's just like everything in moderation. I mean, it could be an educational thing for some people. So you can exploit your body, I guess. And like too much of it could just be too, could also hurt a relationship too.
Let me put that up really quick. Can porn be educational? That's a good one. I actually like that. So, Yeah, so can porn be educational? I guess it can to a certain extent, but you also get that misconception of what sex is actually supposed to be like because they don't do normal shit in porn. I don't think.
I
I
think
don't
the
think.
problem is sometimes dudes try to, or females try to do some of the stuff that they see in porn, and they think their spouse or significant other is going to be okay with some of that stuff.
I think it's not just this female. I think everybody at some point, like me, like let me see it. I
Well,
was actually having this conversation with my wife. I don't remember when exactly I got exposed to it, but it was definitely from the internet for sure.
it could be addicting, but like I said, it's it's one of those things that it can be a drug.
Mhm.
It can be a drug.
Now, now you said you're the one who brought up that it can be educational. In what sense do you think it can be educational? Like as an adult, as a teenager, or
As an adult, I think as far as the teenager stage goes, that's why you get sex education. So, you learn how to practice safe sex and all that stuff.
mm,
Some parents are very like I told you in a previous podcast, my mother was very strict when it came to talking about that stuff. So I
right?
think that if she was more open about the topic, that I would have been able to. Well, I obviously was very you know I was very informed because of school, so I didn't have any. I didn't make any mistakes. You know,
Yeah. So wait, you say you never made any mistakes?
like
Like
I didn't
how?
make any mistakes that, like for example, knock somebody up or you know catch
Yeah.
something.
It's true. I don't know where I got my sense of safety from when I think about it. Because like ever since I started on that journey, I've always worn protection and doubled down by pulling out also, protection and pulling out. I used to double down on the safety.
Yeah, I think that well, like I said, for me, I still feel the same way. Like if I'm gonna be sexually active with somebody, I would like to, especially like now, I would like the person to get tested prior to us getting intimate and stuff.
That's unrealistic, man. Because
No, I'm not Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo either. So I
yeah, but that's
hear
I
about
mean that
it every week.
yeah, but I think that concept is kind of crazy. Because I mean, usually when things are gonna get serious to that level, it's pretty spontaneous for the most part. I've early on, like when we're young, having sexual experiences, we don't schedule the sex. It happens. So
Yeah,
it's not like you say, you know what, I kind of want to have sex with you, but could you just go to the doctor really quick and make sure that you're clean? Because I know I'm clean. I went to the doctor. Like, do you walk around with like this thing that says I'm
get
STD free?
it. So you just wing it, right?
Yeah, yeah, you shouldn't be winging it, man. It's dangerous out there, man. I've always been like my whole life. I've always like was afraid of having a kid outside of being married, even though that's something you can't control.
Me too.
I mean, not a knock at anybody that does it does happen to, because like I said, that's stuff you can't control. It just sometimes it just happens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes
man.
let me in the system. You know what Jay-Z said.
What he said, I don't know what he said.
Oh no.
No,
You gotta Google that though. Then
well, 99 problems or that. Oh,
it's the song. Give it to me.
hold on. All right, motivation and consistency. He says, I'm not a fan of porn. You should be able to be creative with your significant other without watching porn. All right, so I guess I can see that.
I don't think it's something
A
that
creative thing,
you
right?
need, but I'm just it's one of those things that it could be educational if you don't know much about sex.
Right. Do you think you learn more from pornography than you do in sex education?
Uh, Probably. Yeah,
I can see that. I guess it's more graphic.
that stuff.
At the very least, it's more graphic. Yeah, because I mean, there's times you watch porn, you're like, that shit doesn't look very pleasing. It's like certain stuff they do is like, why are they doing that? It's like they run out of ideas. Like, holy shit.
Well, sometimes it's all about compromise too. Like, you do something because your significant other likes it, or you know. But of course, they don't want you to be uncomfortable because they're not gonna enjoy it either. You know.
I'm gonna move on to our next question really quick. How to write it down. So, how about this? Is watching porn okay in a relationship? What do you think?
I don't really know how to answer that.
I noticed you looked up to answers from Jesus.
No,
It's
I
like,
don't know how to answer that because it's like, some I don't know if you're gonna get into that question, but some um spouses may think that it's considered cheating.
yeah, I would love to hear from people. Yeah, from you guys. Look,
But what do you
can't,
do if you're in the mood and your spouse isn't?
that's the saving grace, right? It's like you
Yeah.
can. I mean, I think that's a perfect situation to consider. But I like what King Gizmalik says. He says it actually gets you in the mood quick. He likes that you both are watching. So I guess you do it like a sport where you both are watching it. I guess, but I like what Mike says is like, what if you're really in the mood and your partner is not, right? You still have that desire, you still have that need to release. So I guess you go handle your business. It could get dangerous, right? If you're really insatiable, you just need to release that stuff. So it could be a saving grace for the relationship also. So like if you're upset and you left the house,
Yeah, it could get it could get dangerous depending on how many bullets are in the chamber.
right? Exactly. So, I mean, and obviously, this is not to say that your partner shouldn't be able to say no, right? Obviously, you
Of
got to
course,
respect each other.
I'm not an expert in this, so
Exactly. None of us. This is not a platform about experts. I am not an expert. It's just a platform for you guys to discuss. Speaking of which, I'm going to throw this this link into the. I'm going to throw the link into the chat if you guys want to join the conversation, because obviously it's a conversation that some people have very varying degrees of concern. So yes, it's what King Gizmalik says, man. The 5 fingers of death, or the 5 fingers of releasing stress. Yeah. So hold on. What was that? All right, cool. So how do you feel if obviously there are some people who think that they consider it cheating? What do you think about that? Is watching porn while you're in a relationship considered cheating?
So if I was in a relationship and my girlfriend were to be watching it, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't say, "Oh, what are you doing? You're cheating on me." That's just my personal opinion.
Right. But how about in the other way? Like if they thought, how about if your partner considered it cheating? How would you feel about that?
If she thought it was considered cheating, I can't. Well, that's you know, uh, I I don't know. I don't know
All
because
right, so I'm gonna say let's say she caught you
I
watching it or whatever, and she said, "Yo, that's foul, that's messed up. You shouldn't be doing that. That's what I'm here for." But you come back and say, "But you told me no, and I really wanted it." And how
yeah.
do you how do you defend yourself in that conversation?
I guess it's a conversation that you have to sit down and talk about with your significant other because it's one of those things where like we all have our urges and sometimes you could be coming out of work and you got that extra energy in you and you're like I'm in the mood but she's not in the mood because she's I don't know she spent all day with the kids she worked also and it's understandable. You don't want to pressure anybody into something that they're not comfortable in doing. That's
Exactly.
that's the main thing.
All right, I get it. Um, around what age do you think you discovered, this adult content?
I would say teenagers.
You was a teenager,
Yeah, it was a teenager.
and
I
how
don't know
did you find it?
what age, but I know that I was a teenager.
Wait, all right. I want to jump on this. This is a really good question. We'll come back to this. Okay. Um, nope, that's not it. This is all right. Could you be in a relationship with someone who does porn?
Hell no, that's different.
Yeah, you know what? That's a hell no for me.
that's like
That's cheating.
asking,
That's giving a pass to cheat. Like, go ahead. I know you're getting paid for it.
just to answer Show's question, I wouldn't put myself in that situation. Like, for example, you'll never catch me dating a stripper. I'm sorry. I just don't what's mine is mine. That's it. I don't like sharing.
You know what? Motivation and consistency brings up a really, really good point about expectations, right? With pornography versus real life, right? So he says, how about you watching porn with your girl and she's drooling over 14 inches that she's watching? Then would that get you to move real quick, huh? Because she's getting that, and then she's coming back to life. She's watching this, and then reality is like this. She's
Yo,
watching this, reality is like this.
He's prepping her. He's prepping her for what was about to happen.
Yes, I mean, yes.
Some couples go to strip clubs together, and
No, yeah, that's true. That's true. My brother's like that. My older brother, he said that him and his lady were okay with going to like strip clubs and stuff like that.
Yeah, some couples,
and it works for them. It works.
Hey, to each their own.
Yeah, and if it's beneficial to your relationship, that's fantastic. More power to you.
Yes, I'm not Drake. I don't like strippers. I'm sorry.
You don't?
Yeah.
Why not?
I can't date a stripper, man.
Have you ever been to a strip club?
Yes, I have. It's not my thing.
I've never been there. I've never gone to a strip club. Never wanted to.
We were there when you were single, man. What you talking about? Don't be lying to the public. No, just like
so full of shit. I didn't even know you when I was single.
You had to think about that way.
What the fuck
is he talking about, man?
Yeah. I've never been. I don't know. I don't think I've ever had that many singles at one shot to be able to go to a club to make it rain. Yeah. Oh, look. See,
Mommy Flo was like, birthday, and one of my friends gave me like $50 in singles. He's like, "Yo, spend it." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm keeping this shit in my pocket."
That's right. Can't give it. Can't just take it away. So hold on.
Put on that video, throw it to the TV, and then after it's done, you pick it up. The singles.
All right, so I was checking out this website. I think it's called NPR.org, and they talk about the effect of porn on long-term relationships. And what they say here is that married men and women who use pornography are more likely to get divorced than men and women who do not. Researchers say porn is a driver in making relationships worse, increasing the divorce risk. I don't know. I don't really see all the details in here. I
could see, you're being exposed to certain things, certain elements.
Right.
So it may create a desire for like a man or a woman to reenact what they see or something like that.
Right. But I guess if you're both open to it, right.
I can see both sides, but I do believe that it's based on the individuals too.
Okay, I can see that. I can definitely see that for sure. So, lost my train of thought. What was it? They were talking about. Oh, like I said, like if both people are into it, I don't think it'll be a problem. But if you're using it as a standard or as a metric for like what intimacy and sex is supposed to be. I think that's where it could be a problem because now you both have different views of what, enjoyable sex is supposed to be. Like if, you want to try something that you thought you found, fantasizing or you found, pleasing in the video or in, whatever you're watching. And then you bring it to your partner. She's like, I'm not doing that shit.
Well, the most important fact is you got to remember that the people in the video, they're not in a relationship for the most part.
And that's a very good. I love that. That's actually a really, really good point that you bring up because it's a business to them. So it's not they're not in a relationship. So to go to porn for educational purposes, whatever the case may be, is kind of like setting yourself up for failure because they're just doing a scene and
yeah.
It's about fantasies, and relationships are based in real life. So unless you're just having moments where you want to explore certain fantasies, then I can see how it can be an issue or it can be beneficial. So it's good stuff. Some people here say, nope, that's a no for me. And Motivation says, if you meet her that way, then why not?
I can understand that. You can't change somebody after like if you meet a stripper, you can't tell her to stop doing what she's doing.
Right. Unless she promises to do that.
Especially when you met her in the environment. In that environment. Which, some people that they try to do that.
All right. So, man, what else about this topic you wanted to talk about, man? Because I was in cancer because I was not prepared, man. You said, "Fuck it, let's go." People were here, let's go. So,
We gotta wing it, man. We gotta wing it.
I am winging it. I just ran out of questions.
You ran out of questions already?
Yeah.
Damn.
This is I'm
sorry, I didn't do a PowerPoint presentation.
Neither did I. So let me see here. All right, let's talk about the educational aspect of it, right? About kids discovering it at an early age. Like, how do you think you should go about combating that? Or you think you should probably introduce the idea of sex to your children at a younger age so that they can have a more realistic idea of what, sex in the real world should be like, as opposed to learning it through pornography?
Well, I think I learned that. I forget what grade, but I know it was at a young age, because I went to a private school, and they had a little bit of sex education. They don't really. They just talk about, like, for example, your the genital areas and like what they do and whatnot, for the most part. And then they just talk about protection. That's basically it. It's nothing like it's not like a really deep conversation until you probably get to high school, and that's when they start talking about using condoms and stuff like that.
All right. So the article I read said that most kids find out about porn at the age of 11, which is pretty crazy, man.
That's because all the tools people have in on the internet, that especially kids, some parents, they allow their kids to have cell phones at that age, and oh, look what I found on the internet. They send it to, let's say, your kid, and then next thing you know, your kid's exposed to it,
right, because
of their curiosity.
So at what age do you think you're gonna have that conversation with your kids, or are you already having that conversation?
My oldest is about to be 10, but she has like a little bit of education on it already.
Okay.
As far as sex goes, and obviously me as the father, I try to explain to her that boys are gonna try to manipulate you, or try to convince you to do things that you don't want to do, and don't do it, and to focus on your education first, because making a mistake like that at an early age, you could end up having a kid at an early age, and it'll make your plans for your life, I wouldn't say it's over, but it'll make it more difficult for you, because I know I have plenty of friends who they had kids at an early age, but they're still successful in their careers. Yeah, it's just an obstacle that you're gonna have to overcome if that happens.
And it's not that if it happens, it's going to happen, because we live in a technological age where everything is, hand fed to us via the internet. Everything we need to learn, everything that we want to discover is easily just a few clicks away, and we're there. So the same applies when it comes to sex. So, I mean, I think it's very important for us to be a little more proactive. And now we have to, kind of get in on it earlier when it comes to talking to children about sex. It's like, even now, my son is 8 years old. I'm considering having a discussion about him, but like, my concern is that, having this discussion at an early age, is that going to make them more curious about it at an early age? Or I'm sorry?
Or traumatize them? If they're not really, I don't know, maybe mature to have that topic, or to have that discussion already?
Yeah, or do you want to like start them, because when they're young like this, they scare easily, right? So maybe you can scare them out of it, right? You bring it up to them and be like, "Oh, this is what happened with that," and they, "Whoa, what the hell? No, I'm not doing that."
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this is a really good point also, because like, people are just evil. I swear to God, they're doing stuff. They're dressing up certain things that are not safe for kids, using famous characters. Like, my wife found this in the thing. She talked about it. She says, "Yep, just like a fake Dora show on YouTube, talking about boobs and butts and showing like sexual content on there." And you thinking that it's like Dora the Explorer, but it's just someone who created the characters and made a very, very raunchy video talking about sex and all this other stuff.
It definitely happens. I mean, you just have to be careful with what your kids are watching, because just like, for example, on YouTube uh, um they had, I forgot, on a channel where there was this kind of anime character that was
Mhm.
telling kids to do certain things, and the kids would, like, for example, stick your head in water until you can't breathe anymore, and the kids would do it.
Wow.
Yeah. Or when your mom goes to sleep, turn on the stove and then go straight to bed, stuff like
That's
that.
crazy. That
Yeah.
is absolutely crazy. It's just making it harder to be a parent these days, man.
Yeah, my ex-wife, she sent me a link about that before, and it was crazy because it was happening a lot in the UK, where these kids were basically getting scared to do something by a anime character. Like, I forgot what YouTube channel it was. It was kind of like one of these hackers. They would, you know how when you watch YouTube, a commercial pops up.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it would happen. They would watch a YouTube channel that would, like, let's say Dora the Explorer, and then next thing you know, this thing would just pop up, scare the kid, and the kid would listen to what the character would have to say, and then they would like say, they would threaten the kid, like, if you don't do this, I'm gonna kill you at night, stuff like that. It's
Wow.
crazy, man. Yeah, if I could find it,
And
I'll send you the link, but it was definitely an issue. I think it was a year or two ago.
mhm.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Hmm. Education, man, it's important, man. Just being parents, we got to be proactive about, this kind of stuff. And as far as sex and porn is concerned, man, it's something that unfortunately we're gonna have to have these conversations even younger and younger and younger, as the internet is so much easily accessible, and we use the internet as a babysitter sometimes. When we got to get shit done, we let them watch the internet, and we forget that they're watching it. Then 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour passes by. You don't know exactly what they're watching.
Yeah, like especially if you have your kids walk to school because they're, close to school, you definitely should have that conversation too, because
Mhm.
just like your wife said, that about the characters, that they try to these predators try to befriend the kids by, acting friendly, and then next thing you know, one of the kids gets snatched up and they're gone. So you definitely want to have that conversation with them.
Showcast brings up a really good point, and I wonder if this plays a role in normalizing it, not making it so taboo. If that's actually beneficial to their development. She says, in Canada, their adult stores are everywhere, and they don't have curtains or windows, so everyone can just see the toys and mannequins and lingerie videos. And I
Lingerie,
guess
buddy. Lingerie.
I say it like that on purpose.
You lie. Lingerie.
Anybody who knows me knows that I say lingerie.
No, you say.
Oh my god.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
yes, yeah, so I guess if you do like expose them to this stuff early, like maybe there is a benefit to it. See, Mama Fo's laughing. She knows I say lingerie all the time. Anyway, I say it so much I don't even correct myself no more. I forgot what I was saying. So basically, I'm wondering that if you're exposed to it at an early age, does it become more normalized now, and you're able to deal with it better? Is it a better idea to bring that to to the forefront and let them learn it? How do you feel like if let's say they start having sex education in third grade?
uh I guess every child's development is different, some mature faster than others. Like I would say, for at least for me, because my kid is turning 10,
Mm.
I would start having more conversations about it with her. But of course, it's a team effort. Me and her mother would have to agree on, what we should talk about before we even have the conversation.
Good. Still laughing about the lingerie incident. It's hilarious. Um, yeah, man. So I'm just thinking about the third grade thing. If they started teaching it, all right, yeah, that was my point I was gonna make. So, all right,
I think
usually sex,
I learned it in third grade.
really,
Yeah, I believe so. If I'm correct, I believe it was third, grade. They started talking
uh,
about, sex education, but like I said, it wasn't anything like very detailed. It was just learning your genital areas and stuff, and like what it does, each part does, and all that stuff.
right. So my thing is that like as far as learning it early, right? I don't think there should be a problem with it because what they're doing now in schools now, they are exposing them to the different types of genders and stuff. Like they have the whole thing with the I think the trannies reading to the kids, and they target basically like grades K through 3. And if you're gonna be talking about sexual identities, then you definitely gonna the conversation for sex should definitely have to come up also. So it's just crazy.
It's tough because I think that today's kids, like we grew up a lot different than our kids now, because a lot of this stuff wasn't spoken about before.
I
Now,
learned that in
more
sixth
like,
grade in school.
yeah,
Six.
now it's more like out in the open as far as
Mhm.
gender identity goes.
Yeah, it's a very complicated situation because I mean the world is changing around us and it's just things that we got to get used to. So I mean, but where do we start making drawing the line between at what age? Because like kids are young and impressionable. So
Yeah.
how do we allow them to naturally figure things out for themselves, or do we constantly put it in their face just saying that this is the way things are now and make a choice? I'm not sure how that goes, but it's interesting.
Do you think it's more like it's better for them to stay naive as possible, as long as possible, or like when the topic comes up, to talk about it, because you don't want, like, for example, you know how friends are, they some kids are exposed to certain things earlier than others,
Right.
and so like they talk about it with their friends. Oh, like for example, oh yeah, I saw mommy and daddy get get it on and all that stuff, and so they start talking to their friends about it.
I think that's a rare occurrence, though. I've never seen my parents doing it. I can say that for a fact.
Yeah.
Like, I guess they had a real good lock on that door.
Or a real good luck on your door.
Hey, don't get out. All right, we're gonna have a conversation. Yeah,
The sock is on the doorknob.
yeah.
Like meet the
Ah,
blockers.
all right, I'm curious about
Yeah.
this with motivation and consistency. He says he will prolong it as long as possible, and I'm wondering why. Like in your head, like why do you think it's more beneficial for them to wait as long as possible instead of educating them as early as possible? I'm just curious because I'm obviously have a different mindset. I think I might want to do it early on to prepare them, to let them understand that these things are normal, because my biggest fear is that they learn about it to someone who's going to take advantage of them. That's like the most extreme level of fear that I have.
My
And I
thing
think
is, yeah, my thing is also like going piggybacking on what you said. How about if it's somebody else who's they're learning this stuff through somebody else? Do you really want somebody else to teach your kids certain like about sex? Not
exactly.
like um a bad situation like that they're being taken advantage of. I'm talking
That's
about
exactly what I'm talking
just a
about, though.
conversation.
Right.
I'm talking about just conversation, that your kid is exposed to something and they learn it from their friends. Isn't it better for your kids to learn, to know, to find things out, or be educated through you instead of third party?
No, I definitely think so. I definitely think that you should try to place the foundation as early as possible and have as much influence on them as you can as far as that's concerned. So I think I definitely want to have this conversation more with more parents, because it's I think it's very important, man. Because like I said, my biggest fear, and it's on the extreme level, is that they learn about sex from someone who's taking advantage of them, and now they think that this is normal behavior. That adults should be touching them in this situation. Adults should be doing that. Because I mean, even though they don't understand what's going on, right? It still feels good to them. Like, you ever see a kid and they're touching themselves, right? They don't understand what's going on, what they're doing, but they know that they enjoy that feeling. and you have to manually stop them. Get your hand out of there. What the hell you doing?
Yeah.
So, if somebody's starting to take advantage of them, it's better for them to have knowledge to understand that that is not normal, regardless how you may think that it feels.
That was my biggest fear when my ex-wife was talking about having a babysitter, because I just don't want the biggest fear for me is my kid being taken advantage of by an adult or just anyone in general, because like I've seen reports where things happen where an uncle is molesting his niece or something like that. And so like when my ex-wife brought up the topic of having a babysitter, I was iffy about it. I was like, nah, I really don't. I'd rather just just me and you, just to protect, because I wouldn't be able to I forgive myself if something were to happen to my kids. But me and her, what we did when we did start having a babysitter for them, where we told them, listen, no one is to touch you in your parts, and nobody's supposed to do this and that. Nobody's supposed to see you. You gotta hide yourself with a towel or whatever the case may be. You gotta dry yourself and cover yourself, basically, protect yourself. So we always spoke to the kids about that, and they were pretty good. They would tell you if something like that ever occurred, which thank God nothing has.
Yeah, man, it's a scary world out there. Sometimes we're our worst enemies because the probability of those things happening are really, really low depending on where you live. But it's still like usually we are our worst enemies, and we think I like my whole since I've been a dad, I've thought about every crazy possible situation that my kid could get himself to, and I try to prepare for that, which is really unrealistic, right? Because you kind of put them in this bubble, and I think that might be more damning in the long run if they're just oblivious to real life and the real dangers out there. So yeah, motivation answered my question earlier. So he says he thinks that with all the craziness that's going on in the world, we wouldn't want to open up their mind more than what it already is. For instance, like we chatted before with the I Am Jazz situation. Yeah, but with the let me see. So if my children were young, I would just let them enjoy being kids for as long as possible and just always teach them about predators. All right, I like that. Definitely want them to. Like, but my idea about teaching them about it is not so that they're educated to want to do it, because I think even at that young age the idea of sex is ill. It's like, oh my god, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
But just having a working knowledge of it and understanding that that's what people are trying to do.
Yeah, something as simple as like my kids sitting on somebody's lap, I would just encourage them not to do that unless it's mommy or daddy. No, you don't sit on anybody else's lap, because a lot of predators are sometimes people who are very close to them.
Yeah, so true.
So you got to be very careful with allowing your kids to do things like that, because one day you could be, I don't know, at a family party, and then the uncle could just out of nowhere, okay, nobody's watching, and you don't know about this stuff until after it happens, and then it's too late.
Right.
Yeah, I think it kind of, it's just one of those things that you don't ever want for it to happen to your kid or to anyone.
All right, so with all that said, I think we're gonna wrap this up with this last question, I guess. So what do you think is the appropriate age to introduce adult content to children?
To be honest with you, I don't think I would introduce adult content to my kids, like for example, when you put like Porn versus School. I'm sorry, I just like it. I think that's something that, I don't know. I just don't think it's something that you like introduce. Oh, you introduce it to your kids.
Right. It's going to be introduced to them whether you want it to or not. Because like I said, they have access to the internet, and they're just going to be searching for different things. And the way the search engines are, man, they're going to give you every possible scenario as an option.
You better put those filters in place.
Yeah, right. I wonder how good those things work when you put a filter on. And, if there's loopholes around it, if those filters only work for specific search engines, and like
there are loopholes, because like you could you could block website, like you could set your browser so like if they Google, for example, adult content, it won't show up, but then you got the pop-ups and all that stuff.
Right,
So
but wouldn't that be
it's really, the internet's really not childproof.
right?
It's more like you gotta just be attentive to what your kids are watching. And let's be honest with you, you can't really do that. You
Nope.
can't watch what your kid is doing, and do whatever you got to do around the house. So you just
Yeah.
gotta,
What I do from time to time is that I'll check my son's history
yeah,
of his YouTube watches, and whatever I think is questionable, I ask him, why were you watching this? And he'll tell me, oh, I didn't watch that. It just came up and it started playing for a few seconds, but that's not something I watched.
yeah,
And you can check if you click the video, it shows you how much was watched. So it's interesting.
yeah.
Oh man, this is a really good wow. She just reminded me of this. So he was playing this shark game. I don't know if you ever seen it. It's like a shark. It's a shark app for from the Google Play Store. Where you could evolve your sharks and you just keep eating a bunch of things. So he wanted to like keep purchasing stuff to advance in the game, right? So I tried to find a modded version of the game, and where everything is unlocked. So I got him a modded version, right? But ads would come up, and one of the ads was a penis enlarging ad. So it had this dude with a really large freaking penis pop up in the middle of him playing the game as an ad. And he looked at me like, what was that? I'm like, I don't know. Click. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get a modded app.
Nah, it's so true, man. So you got to be careful with that kind of stuff. That's what I was telling you about technology, man. They find a way to squeeze it in there. And with a lot of these apps where you try to like beat the system, they get their funding from not so reliable sources.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's kind of scary.
You know what's funny? I had a friend who actually hacked his son's favorite game, and he would send him notifications like, "Did you do your homework? I know that you're playing this game, all that stuff." It's pretty funny, but it's very easy to hack these games. So yeah, it's not really childproof, especially when you have the ads and all that stuff. And sometimes you got the pop-ups,
right?
Because like you said, the apps are being funded by maybe some questionable company,
right? And they got to get money from somewhere, and since they're not exactly legal apps of the original versions, they're going to get the money from wherever they can. That's including porn sites, that's including less than honest third-party vendors or whatever. As long as they get money, they don't care. They do not care. Yeah. So, all right, man. So with that said, man, I'm glad I got on. I got to talk to you guys for a little bit. Thank you, Mike, for showing up today. And again, I am going to make it a point to be a lot more proactive on all platforms where we watch That's So Controversial. That's the Facebook group. That's the Instagram page. That's here. I've been, I had really big ideas for this stuff, but I've been myself a huge procrastinator, and we talked about that as having bad habits before, and that's just something that I want to get out of, because I really want this platform to be somewhere where you guys can come and talk about a whole bunch of different things, a whole bunch of different opinions, and just learn from each other and grow from each other. Hold on, because my laptop is about to die. Bam, we're back in business. So like I said, I want to grow this platform to a place where we can all have these discussions. Look at this. I don't even know what the hell I did here. Green screen's all messed up and shit. Yeah.
Damn, you're revealing everything now.
I know, man.
I should. Everybody. All it took was the sex topic.
I know, right?
For him to mess up.
I'm never messing up, so whatever. So tomorrow, I guess we'll do the raffle. I'm going to be giving away a $50 Amazon gift card tomorrow in celebration of the 50th episode, which I was going to push to tomorrow, but we did it today. But I will definitely be doing that tomorrow. So tell your friends, tell your mama, show up tomorrow so we can do that raffle. We'll spin the wheel and give some money away, man. It should be awesome. Definitely be here, man.
Can we wait until Promo Thursday?
Oh, what's happening Promo Thursday?
Can we wait until Promo Thursday for that raffle?
We could do it. If that works. All right.
It gives people something to look forward to on Thursdays.
All right, cool. So I like that idea. So we'll move it to Thursday. Be here for Thursday. Even though I don't think I have anything planned for Promo Thursday. So if you guys have anything you want to promote, we'll have a topic to discuss either way. And Promo Thursday just be like on the back end of it so that we can promote the stuff that other people got going on. So with that said, man, like I said, this platform is about having discussions about literally anything, man. And we don't always have to agree, but damn it, we should always talk, man. It's about having this open discussion, man, being open-minded and respecting everybody's experiences and everything, man. So with that said, you guys have a fantastic evening. Thanks for showing up. I love you guys, and we'll be here tomorrow. Oh yeah, Mommy Phil wants to do a Battle of the Wars and a Valentine's Day special. I like that.
You
so
know,
we're working on that.
I'm with it.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, so get your guns loaded, man. We're gonna shoot some hot shit.
Do a little game show on that's so controversial.
That should be dope, right? All right, man. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. Have a fantastic evening and a good night. Peace out.
Good night.